Hey, what's up guys? Phoenix here. This video is going to be another YGOpro duel video playing Mermails. The list again is the one that I used at YCS Anaheim, and again if you want to watch my full deck profile of the deck that I played, then I would suggest you go check out the link in the description as well as the annotated link on screen right now. If you are looking for explanations on card choices and, you know, just different sorts of insight into the deck and how it operates, I would definitely check that video out if I were you, if you were interested. But otherwise, this is going to be a duel video with this deck playing against Metalfoes, a very standard, I think, Metalfoes deck. I don't think he's going to be playing anything too strenuous. I don't believe so, at least. But this is just a good chance to get the deck operating in some actual TCG relevant matchups for the channel. So I felt like I should play them and also just broadcast that I know that I'm playing these matchups in the little beginning section of the video. But like I've said previously, totally awesome, totally increases the ceiling of this deck by a ton because of the fact that it's a negation, it's a logia, it's a solemn judgment even, that you use by, you know, basically freely summoning it off Bahamut Shark as well as your Frog Engine, and it's basically free to summon it. Most of the times you go plus summoning it because of the fact that you can overlay like Dragoons under Bahamut Sharks and get its effect that way. But then once it goes to graveyard, you get to add your cards back to hand and further fuel your engine and advance your game state. Like, that's absolutely insane in terms of a card that this deck has access to. So I don't want to waste too much time talking about this deck because, like I said, I already had the deck profile where I went very in length and in depth discussing this deck and why I think it's good and different card choices and different interactions and things like that, as well as there will be some discussion of that in the video that is about to take place in the matchups, because that's the whole purpose of how I record these. But anyway, let's not waste any more time and let us just jump straight into the first game versus, like I believe I already said, Metalfoes. I believe I said that, but yeah, Mermails versus Metalfoes. Let's jump straight in. Alright, so like I may have said in the original part of this video, I know that I'm playing against Metalfoes because he told me, like, we're playing through ABC, like Metalfoes, the TCG matchups, and awesome. I won rock, paper, scissors, which means I have such an advantage because of the fact that this deck is just so good going first. I've got Dragoons, I've got an Aqua Spirit, which means that I can actually use this to go dump Dragoons, add Heavy Infantry, since those are the only two left in my deck. And the Marksman gets to stay in my hand, and I get to summon a Megalo, and then I get to banish for Aqua Spirit and do some other things here. So what is going to be the play line of the day? I have to add the Megalo here. That's 100% something that has to happen. I have to add this Megalo, and I can use it to discard the Dragoons, and I can discard the Infantry or the Marksman. It doesn't necessarily matter. If I had Swap Frog, this would be so much easier because I can then just bounce this and summon Dragoons back, summon Aqua Spirit, and make a Toad. But otherwise, this hand has to be utilized a little bit differently. So we'll do this, and we'll summon the Megalo. And, okay, so the Max C is coming down, so that's actually fine. I don't really care that I can't make Toad now, because now I get to just search Sphere and have a defensive card. It's definitely not the strongest opening, but it does gain ground now that we have, you know, we have this setup alongside the fact that we have Sphere into a defensive line and we have Max C. So there is that. That is actually just the most relevant. But so what we'll add is we will add another Neptibus in case this one dies and the Megalo doesn't die. That just seems to be the strongest thing to do here. Yeah, this hand didn't really support doing anything else like major. I guess I could have normal summoned Dragoons and then, well, no, I didn't have a Megalo, so I had no way to put a Water Engrave for the Aqua Spirit. So yeah, that hand had a lot of combo pieces. It had a lot of combo potential, but like it just was missing one piece. It was just one piece off. And like if that Marksman had been a Swap Frog, then that hand was insane. If that Marksman had been a Teus, a Megalo, what cards could it have been? It could have been a Teus, it could have been a Megalo, it could have been an Instant Fusion. It could have been a lot of different things to just be very, very much in my favor. But so this Max C is going to come down on these tokens that are being summoned, so I'll be able to get my card immediately back, and then I'll be able to just do other things. So there's the Turge, so that's good. That means that I can use Sphere as a defensive card, and then I can immediately go Turge, normal summon to discard Prince, and make a rank 4, because I do have the marksman engraved, so there is a valid target, but there would be a valid target as well once the heavy infantry dies. Off of the sphere, I had to take a sip of water there because my throat is pretty parched from the dry California air. But he has 5 cards left alongside this Gofu, so I can use Sphere to pop his scales, or if he has Bunbuku, then he can try and force through an Ignister, which I definitely have to answer with Sphere heavy infantry. So there is that. There is definitely that is a problem. But he gets to use this to pop this and set cards, so he can set combination here, and that makes me think that he might have an Archphoenix-centric in hand, which allows him to extend the combo. Now, he does not know that I have... Well, no, he does know I have infantry in hand. He knows that I have heavy infantry in hand, and that's something that has to be dealt with. But so he's going to attack over my Neptibus, which I find strange. I'm completely fine with it happening because there's no more targets for it left in the deck. I mean, it would be cool to tribute it for Megalo, but I have the same play in my hand already because I added Neptibus off the last Dragoon Search. So I've got Turge plus this. And so when this Ignister hits the board, I have to answer it with Sphere. I have to. Because I get a card. That's an instant fusion. That is very good. Oh my god. That is so good. Because that's just 2 rank 4s that I have access to next turn. Like, that's insane. Now, this means that the Ignister is not going to be able to pop this to shuffle away my board. He's just going to set cards and pass turn. Okay. Now it's another Aqua Spirit. So I've got 3 rank 4 plays this turn. That is insane. That is so many rank 4 plays. And I'm going to get so many Dragoon Searches off of it, too. So we'll normal summon this, and we'll use its effect to ditch this and add back the Marksman. Because I'm going to start using Marksman to hit some of these that I don't know what they are. I'm not going to hit the combination because that's stupid. But we'll definitely summon back the Dragoons. Dragoons will be a rank 4 that I'll be able to utilize. And that will just immediately give me a like Megalo play or whatever. I'll be able to basically just go into Bahamut Shark and summon a Toad. Just to soften up this back row situation before anything else happens, before anything else occurs. I'll be able to make Bahamut Shark. I'll be able to get a search off Dragoons. I'll be able to get a Toad, and then I will be able to go from there. So, okay, that's fine. That's 100% fine, because I could summon another one off of Instant Fusion. So I'll Instant Fusion here for Norden into Dragoons, and I will try to summon another Bahamut Shark. And that's going to be what we're just going to keep trying to do. We're going to keep trying. If you keep trying, you might keep dying, or you might just keep going. So, yeah. So we get to summon another Bahamut Shark here. And then if this one dies to a strike, then we know that it was not meant to be. But it looks like it's not. So this Bahamut Shark is fine. And then this gets summoned. So this Bahamut Shark triggers the Dragoons, which allows me to search for Megalo, which I can ditch the Aqua Spirit and the Marksman to pop his unknown set, and then I can just kill him. So that seems pretty strong. At least I think. I think it's pretty strong. I could be wrong, but this will pop that, and this is great because I'm not going to activate its effect. So if there's a strike down here, another one, then I'm not going to lose my second Megalo to it until it goes away. Oh, it's Metalfoes Fusion. Okay, so it's a combination and it's a Metalfoes Fusion. Okay, easy. So now what I get to do is I get to... I don't think I have normal summon this turn. I've normal summoned the Turge. I was about to say, I don't think I've normal summoned this turn, but I definitely just did. There's not really much you can argue against at that point that I definitely did. Now, this can't attack this turn. So we're going to go ahead and activate this Megalo to get 2 attacks. And he's at 65, so I'll be able to attack... attack with the Aqua Spirit, and then attack. And then that's just game. And then this is just very free. Like, this is just here. I can tribute the Aqua Spirit for the negation if he had something like Swift Scarecrow. So I still get the attack through. So yeah, this is just free, and at the end of the day I get to make Gaios. And then, yeah. It's pretty damn good. I didn't even need to tribute the Bahamut Shark in hindsight, but we'll move on to the second game, where I'm going to be going second. but this hand is actually pretty good. It's one card off of being amazing for going second, but I just might get alkahested. Like, that's gonna be an issue. Really? Really? Who's messaging me now? I just need to like mute my entire phone situation. We'll just put this thing on vibrate. Okay, so Painful Decision searched what here? It searched a Gold Driver, and then Babuku searched Kieran. So Gold Driver gets to do different things. Popping the Babuku to set a combination, which again leads me to believe that he might have an Archfiend Eccentric, or maybe that's just like the de facto play. Nope, Archfiend Eccentric. Okay, so Archfiend Eccentric being a combo piece here, coming in clutch, being able to pop this, search cards, that's really good. But, let's see, I've got Mander, I've got Gund, which means that I can summon Teus, and I can summon Megalo. Okay, this hand is actually really good. I didn't actually take the time to think about it, but this hand's actually really good off the rip. Because what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to drop Teus by discarding Mander, right? And I'll be able to search another level 4. Or I could just search, I could search another level 4 straight away, and then I can discard, I'm going to have to search Osha, never mind. But then I can discard the Teus and the Gund. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I'm just going to think about it in my own quiet, like, mind space, and then figure it out for the turn. But basically I'm going to try to make Gaios to invalidate this, and then force through Double Toad, because that seems like the proper play. But, so, I don't know what other card he has in his hand. He has a counter, and these two cards, I don't think I know them. 1-for-1. Excuse me. That is, like, the best card I could have drawn. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to activate this, and we're going to discard Mander. And there's a reason specifically for this. So this is going to add Osha. It has to add Osha. Yeah, it 100% has to add Osha here. And we're going to use Megalo, discarding Gund and Teus, so that we summon those two. And then we'll be able to 1-for-1 discard Osha. I don't know if I'm liking where this is going now. This would have been better as a Neptibus. No, it wouldn't. Let's see, I could summon this other Teus. That would actually just be less impact. But it would be forcing through the Gaios. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll activate this Teus, and we'll discard the Osha. Yeah? Because then I'll be able to summon Neptibus by discarding the Gund, which will then... Well, no, this sends a monster, so I'll have to discard the Megalo, summon Neptibus, get Dragoons, then I'll have Gund Megalos. Yes. Okay, so that's what we'll do. That is exactly how this is going to work. We're going to do this, and we're going to make the Gaios, or the Kieran is just going to bounce a card. And either way, it's fine. This entire playline invalidates Kieran. So that bounces this, sure. And so now from here, I get to activate 1-for-1. This is a counter, which I know about, so I'll be able to activate this, and I will discard the Megalo, or I can just discard the Teus. Yeah, we'll just discard the Teus. Actually, just doesn't matter. So we'll summon Neptibus. We'll use Neptibus to send Dragoons, add Dragoons, and then we'll just kind of go to the races. Like, that's honestly the best way I can describe it, is that we're just gonna win. There's a 1-for-1 and 4 cards in my graveyard, so there's not enough waters there for Moulinglace to be live, but it could be. Let's see, what are my waters engraved? They are those. So Mander, Tribute. So yeah, we will add this because I know for a fact I don't need anything else other than these cards. So we'll activate this, ditching Dragoons, summoning this, and the Gund will activate, the Megalo will activate, and so I'm going to summon the Osha from grave, because the Osha can target this and get a 3, or I could just get a 4. If this tributes this gets back Dragoons, and then I've got a 4 here, and that is what we need. Yeah, so we'll just get back Mander. The Osha is completely irrelevant in this current game plan, because this is going to get back Dragoons, meaning my board is still going to be, in theory, clogged. So, yeah. So we'll add the Heavy Infantry to hand here. because that seems like it's going to be the best thing to have. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think so. This is in defense mode, which kind of sucks, but we can deal. So this will summon the Dragoons, and then I've got 2 attacks on it, and I can special summon the Moulinglace because now I am at 5. And so this will take 2 cards out of his hand, which is the 2 Arch-Phoenix-Centrics. Oh man. Oh my lord. That is actually pretty ridiculous. I could make a Dweller here, and that would make this game. Yeah, the Dweller would just make it game, so we'll just do that. Dweller, the boost, it's always relevant. The Dweller boost is always the best. But so we'll activate this, just ditching this, and we'll add a Neptibus. And then this will attack over the Kieran, and then these 3 are game. These 3 attacks over here are just game. I just get to force through game, and it would be guaranteed game if I didn't drop the Teus in defense mode. I need to get in the habit of always dropping it in attack mode, because it's actually not game anymore because of this. I forgot that the counter was there, but that's fine because I get to disrupt his scales, and based off what scale he grabs, like this still would have been game, wouldn't it? If I'd put the Teus in attack mode, would it have been game? Yes, it would have been game. That's ridiculous. That's such ignorance. Because I put the Teus in defense mode just because of my de facto like online playstyle. Like it didn't work. But if I'd put that Teus in attack mode, it was 100% undisputed game. So that's something that needs to be addressed, is that it was game. So what did he add to his hand? I need to check what he added. He added a Volflame, so that's an 8 scale. So what I need to do is I need to first activate this in the draw phase, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, he's chaining counter, and counter can only add back his high scale. So now what I'll do is in standby phase, I will activate this and summon a Turge from my deck, and I will use that to discard this heavy infantry and attempt to add back gun. That's going to get negated. Heavy infantry pop his low scale. Since I have no knowledge of him having a low scale, I only know that he has high scales. I hit 2 cards out of his hand, he drew a random card, and he searched Volflame off Bismugear, and he added Bismugear back. So, I have no way of knowing that he has a high scale, and I believe that he doesn't. It's still negated because this is the way this works. And so if he has a low scale, he might just win. He might just win outright, because this Neptibus is going to be very low impact, because there's literally like a marksman left in the deck. That is the biggest issue I do have with this deck, is the fact that when you run through all the cards, like it's just over. Like you can't deal with it. But once you do get to those cards, then it's heavily in your favor. Like once you get those cards out of your deck, you usually don't need them again. That's the big thing. Okay, what is he going to do? Metalfoes Fusion here? No, Bismugear to search, but he's not going to get it next turn. Okay, this is another Bismugear. So yeah, he only had high scales. So I got him with that. Like, just flipping this sphere and using it as a defensive card, using it as a disruption. Oh, he does have a low scale. He has Ariadne. Damn it. Okay, well then from here, this is going to be a problem for me, because he gets to Pendulum the Kieran. He gets to Pendulum Kieran, Volflame, and that's it. Oh, and Gold Driver. That's right. That's in his extra deck too. Okay, but it's still better than it could have been, because he could have definitely had the low scale. That's a true low scale, the 1 scale of Gold Driver, and then that would have been a problem for me. But so he gets to summon the Kieran if he wants, and the Kieran can bounce the Gaios. If he doesn't summon the Kieran, then he has no answer to the Gaios, other than like fusing into like Mithrilium. So that's kind of that. Yeah, he has to summon the Kieran here, and the Kieran has to bounce the Gaios, or else his Volflame cannot attack me, because level 5 or higher can't attack while this is on the board with a material. So there is that. So he's killing this, which I'm not worried about in the slightest, because the Sphere was going to kill it at the end phase anyway. So bouncing that after it attacks, and then he gets to attack the Volflame over the Abyss Dweller. And so that means that next turn, depending on what I draw, I could win this game, but I'm pretty sure I just lose because of the low scale. Pretty sure I just lose. I think that I might have lost. And the only reason I would lose this game is because I put that Teus in defense mode. That's literally the only reason that I lost this game. If I put that Teus in attack mode, I would have been able to attack over his entire board still, and it would have been game because the Teus would have been at 2200 off of the Dweller. Like, that's the most ridiculous part about this, is the fact that I had game and I had the perfect string of plays. I played that turn perfectly. The only mistake I made was the Teus was in defense mode. Like, that's the most insane thing about it, is that the only mistake I made was that Teus was in defense mode. But we'll use this Desires to try and draw cards and see where it goes from here. That's a Swap Frog and that's a Megalo. That's actually really, really good. I banished 2 instant fusions, which is fine. And yeah, that entire banish is fine because there's no Ronin Totem in it. Yeah, wow. All right. So what I get to do here is I get to force through a totally awesome if I want to. So I definitely could. I could discard the Megalo because these can attack over these. Like, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So we'll special summon this. Discard to special, and then we'll use this to send Ronin, and then I'll be able to bounce it, normal summon Ronin, and then that forces Alcahist, which at that point, like, he'll be able to fuse into another Alcahist. So actually, this isn't that good. This isn't that good at all, in fact. But I'll just be able to, like, force plays through, essentially. That's the ideal. That's the idea. That's the idea of what I'm doing here. Is that I'm trying to force plays through under this Alcahist and this Kieran. But the thing is, I'm not gonna be able to out both, and that's the biggest issue, is that I can't out both of them with these cards. So, and I couldn't out both of them with the Megalo either. Like, that should be the clearest thing, is that I couldn't out them both with this either. Oh really? You're doing this here, and then Alcahist to suck up this. I'm kind of okay with that, because this gets summoned. And now I can just special summon the swap, and summon another. I'll use it, yeah, because I should have another swap left in my deck. So I'll send it just so it's deck thinned, and then I'll summon this Toad. And this Toad can negate full Metalfoes fusion, but you still have a Pendulum Scale. I lose this game. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to play out of it. I lose this game because I made my one mistake of summoning Teus in defense mode. And that's the problem. So yeah, like, he just gets to out the Toad, and yeah, there's no point in playing this game anymore. Yeah, I can't win this game. This game is 100% unwinnable. So we'll just go to the third game and see how it goes. Now, I know he mains Max C, so hopefully I don't get Max C'd. But I do have Soul Charge, I have double Instant Fusion, I have a Max C, but I don't have another Water, and that's what sucks. That is literally what sucks the worst, is that it's just terrible. But what I can do is I can send a Swap Frog from deck to grave, and then I can Soul Charge that back, and send Ronin. So that's kind of cool, and that would be what we do here. So from deck to grave, and so I could bounce this and attempt to special summon it, but like, I don't have any other waters, so I can't. That's the biggest downside of what we have going on right here. So we'll set this instant fusion. We'll set this instant fusion as a bluff, and we will pass our turn. This Max C could be the savior. I'm not even going to summon the frog out of my deck because I don't really care. I'd rather draw more water monsters. That's the thing. But so we'll use this, and we'll use this Max C to negate it. The thing is, I'm in such a well, not negate it, to get draws. And that's the thing, is I'm still in kind of a favorable position because I can just negate, like, whatever scale I feel is the vital one. That's the thing, is I can negate the scale that I think is vital. And he's gonna normal summon his silvered and go into, like, Ignister probably, and that is going to be the problem. Well, actually, since I know he has silvered, I should probably just go ahead and negate this, strictly on the basis of I don't want him to start doing. I know he has silvered, so I know he has multiple low scales. So I'll just go ahead and negate this, because if he summons silvered, then I will just, like, I'll be in a situation where What am I trying to say? Let me figure that one out first. If he normal summons Silvered, at that point, I have, like, no way to negate anything until his turn is over. And, like, that's the problem. He's playing Ariadne. He has okay, so I know he has Silvered in hand. I don't know if he has a high scale. So, Gold Driver, popping that. He's going to get to search for counter traps, which is fine. I can play through those with Swap Frog, with Ronin Totem, and with Cupidity. Desire is giving me extra cards and my Instant Fusion. I've got so many cards I can use to play through these cards. So combination is here. I know he has a Silvered. I'm gonna have to play through this Strike, and from there I think it's all possible. That's the thing. So I think that everything is possible in that regard of being able to play through all of these cards and still winning the match. Like, this is definitely the harder of the matchups to play against, though. The Ariadne Metalfoes build, obviously, because you lose, like, your cards into a Megalo. Like, you throw 2 cards into a Megalo and you get striked, and that's kind of the problem. Okay, so I know for a fact he has no high scale. This is so relevant. He opened 3 Gold Drivers, so he has counter, he has combination, he has a Silvered, and he has a Strike in his hand. So he can use the Silvered to make an Ignister, giving me more cards, which further fuels me playing through Strike even more. And so, like, there's so many things that are in my favor for this match. Unless he just ends his turn by setting Strike and not giving me any extra cards. But I still think that that's very much in my favor. Okay, so here we go. Ciphering Lord Omega. Okay, so I got another Swap Frog. That one's weird, but at least I can, it's actually really easy. This is actually really good. Because that's a Megalo. And so what I get to do here is I get to summon my Ronin. The Instant Fusion is safe, so I don't really need to worry about that. I could summon Swap, and then I could Desires. In fact, I'm going to Desires first. That seems like the strongest thing to do here. Yeah, we'll Desires first, because all the frogs are out, so I don't need to worry about it. I want to draw into a Dragoons or a Neptibus, or a 3rd Instant Fusion. That one works. Okay, so there's 3 Aqua Spirits banished, and there's 1 Dragoons banished. The other 2 Neptibuses are banished. That's fine. That Desires is 100% good. That Desires was very, very good. So what we'll do is we will, I've got to deal with that, but I am going to be fine with it. So, we will normal summon this. We're going to normal summon this first, and then we're going to go to special summon it by discarding the Swap for Swap, and I'm going to force that Strike. I'm going to force it, and I hope to God that he hits Instant Fusion off Ciphering Lord Omega, because I got 3 of them. This is going to be a downright slobber knocker. But what I'm going to do is, yeah, Strike on the Toad. Okay, I agree with that. So now I get to use this. I get to use this to send... I could go ahead and send Dragoons and add Heavy Infantry. And from here, the Dragoons will activate. I can destroy the counter before anything else, and that's going to be the key, is that I need to destroy that counter. So I'll get Marksman here, and I will destroy the counter first, off Marksman being Chainlink 1, and then Chainlink 2, the Heavy Infantry will pop the Scale, so I don't have to worry about the Scale popping combination. So this is going to be responded to, but okay, it actually hit the Megalo. That's so ridiculous. That's insane. That doesn't actually happen. But so Chainlink 1 Infantry and Chainlink 2 Marksman. So Chainlink 1 Infantry targeting this, and Chainlink 2 Marksman targeting the counter. Right? That seems very fair, because the counter dies, and then this dies, and then I get to Instant Fusion for my play. Now, how many waters do I have in grave? I've got a lot. I've got quite a few. if we're being really, really optimistic here, or really just honest. Not even optimistic, just honest. We'll activate this Instant Fusion. I can't believe it actually hit the Megalo. That's ridiculous. Like, it had a 1/3 shot of hitting the Megalo, and it hit the Megalo. That's insane. But so we'll get back this Dragoons. This Dragoons will activate, and then we will be able to make a Dweller, which is actually going to be the strongest. We're not even going to make Bahamut Shark Toad, because if we do that, then we're like, he can banish counter to add back a scale, and then if he drew a scale, he's going to use combination to have a scale complete. So that's going to be the thing. That's a problem. But if I make Dweller, then that's going to be stronger. But at the same time, I won't have a follow-up play. So I've basically just got to put my faith in the fact that he doesn't draw a scale, or I could just negate the combination flip. Yeah, that seems like the best option, is negating the combination flip. So we'll do this. We'll do this. We'll attack his tokens, and then we'll make our Toad. So yeah, he either has to not draw a Metalfoes scale, or we negate the combination flip. That's one of the two things that has to happen. If he draws another low scale, then it's just in our favor. But Jesus, all these matches end up being like 30 minutes long. Okay, so he's being smart. He's flipping it now, which is, I completely agree. I 100% agree. I could not express how much I agree with that more. But when this dies, I'm going to shuffle back my Norden. Well, hopefully the Bahamut Shark just dies first. That could be a thing. But honestly, this is fine as is. My opening was pretty weak, but then again, his didn't have a high scale, but he could have sent one off Painful Decision. But then again, I forced him into a situation with Max C and Toad, to where stealing wasn't really optimal to get. I don't know why I added another Megalo when I had one in hand. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I do know. But we'll find out. So counter gets to add back one of his Metalfoes scales. If he plays it... Well, actually, no. He has such a good position here because he could just use Omega to attack over my Totally Awesome. It makes it to where he can't... Okay, so... That, I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that because you let me know that you had a low scale that wasn't the one you just added back. You just added back a Gold Driver, correct? You added back a Gold Driver and then... Or no, you added back Silvered? What? I'm confused. What's going on here? No, okay, so he did add Silvered. I'm tripping balls. That's okay. That's fine. He added back a card... that, like, makes it... I'm just being wrong. Don't worry. Ignore me. I'm just being wrong. I'm just being incorrect. And so, we'll just negate this. This seems like the most optimal thing to negate. Because then I get to add back Dragoons. So I have Dragoons plus this. So I'll get this. This will be mine. And then we will do this to add back... the... I kind of want to add back the Swap Frog. So I could just force through another Toad. But, at the same time, I kind of need to start seeing more combo pieces in more plays, so we will add back Dragoons. So adding back Dragoons to have with the double Megalos just seems fine. So, okay, he does have another Volflame. So, I got really caught up in my disbelief of him adding the low scale, but it doesn't even matter, because I could have negated this, taken it, but then he would have activated this. So... It doesn't matter either way, so that's fine. He gets to summon all of these back, and now I'm gonna lose to the Pendulum mechanic. That's gonna be the main thing, and that's the thing. I don't even consider Metalfoes a hard matchup. I consider Strikes being hard to deal with, but Metalfoes itself, I don't consider that a hard matchup. It's very easy for you to win that matchup, and like I said, I could have 2-0'd him in the previous game, but I dropped the Teus in defense mode instinctively. Whereas at the YCS, I was literally only summoning that card in attack mode. So, like, my online play with Teus is always to put it in defense mode for some reason. I don't know why. But if I put it in attack mode, it would have been game. And that's something that we have to understand and realize. But so, Mithrilium is going to use its effect to shuffle these two and probably bounce my Bahamut. Yeah. And now I'm stuck with 2 instant fusions. If I played Rare Fish, then that would be kind of cool. But now I'm going to have to... force through a rank 4 into Toad, and then if I can force through a rank 4 into Toad, that'd be really cool, but I actually, the way I'm going to have to force through a rank 4 would be I would have to use Megalo, ditching the Dragoons and Megalo, and summon, and then get the Neptibus, normal summon it, tribute it for another Dragoons, and then I would have to have like another way to bypass a summon, so I'd have to have a Gund. Essentially. Gund is the only way that I can do anything. Oh, wait, I lose this turn. Never mind. Okay. all those hypotheticals out the window. I just lose this turn. But yeah, like, that mistake I made the second game is what is really just kind of getting me right now, is the fact that I've just, I swear for 100% fact, I never summoned a Teus in defense mode at YCS Anaheim. I was always summoning it in attack mode, because at the end of the day, you can always tribute it off for Megalo, or you're overlaying with it, or you're tributing it for Osha. So it's like almost never like beneficial to put it in defense mode unless you're scared, or if a Max C was responded to the Teus. Like, it's the only time. But essentially, that is it for this video. That was a really interesting, that was an interesting one, because my opening hand was not optimal, but it was still playable. And if it was another water monster, it would have been fantastic. And that's kind of what gets me. If it was another water monster, I could have opened double Toad. And that's kind of the thing that's getting me, that's bugging me a bit. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. Check out my Facebook link in the description if you want to connect with me, chat with me, whatever, or just see, posts that I make about when I'm at YCSs and what my records are, stuff like that. But otherwise, like I've already said, like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. Thank you for your time as usual. Thanks for watching as always, and take care, guys. See you in the next video.